It is time for yet another Dallas Cowboys Report mailbag. All of the questions coming in from our live audience on Thursdays on the Dallas Cowboys Report YouTube channel. From Lucas, chin as we get a Joseph Ossai. If he is there in round 2, which I'm not sure he's going to be, that's the sweet spot for me. Round 2, round 3, the edge rusher class is weird. Somebody's going to slide. We'll have to find out who. Where fans meet. Hey, Downey, what do you think about a 1-year deal for Earl Thomas with incentives? No. There are so many issues with Earl Thomas. There's a reason that even though he was once the best free safety a year ago, 2 years ago, that nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted to go get Earl Thomas. He had become a locker room cancer, and I don't think that's changed for the Cowboys. Because of that, I say no. From T-Rex, quick side note here, Thomas Rex is what I want to desperately name if I ever have a son. That is what I want to name it. T-Rex, awesome football player. Wife, not on board. Anyway, could the Cowboys move down and still get Surtain? I don't think so. I think if you trade down, it's going to be to the Bears or to the Patriots pick. And there are too many teams that need a corner. Two that jump out, Philadelphia at 12 or the Chargers at 13. So if you were to move down and Surtain was there, what you're doing is moving down and saying, congrats, Eagles, you got the number 1 cornerback in this year's draft. Is that something you want to do? I'm not so sure. Now, if Surtain is gone, totally different conversation. But at number 10, if you move down, the caliber of player you're going to get is not going to be as good on your draft board. So what do you guys want to do? Do you want to trade down? Type Y for yes or type in N for no. This question is the pinned comment on today's video. So get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down, and get your votes in. From Vaser, do you think Jarwin will come back 100% and pick up where he left off? And is Schultz now our number 1? I still have Blake Jarwin as the tight end 1. The torn ACL was early enough in the year, week 1, that I'm not concerned about it. Now, if the Cowboys spend a mid-round pick on a tight end, that's a sign to me that they don't trust the medical stuff. I've heard nothing along those lines, so I will operate like Blake Jarwin is going to be just fine. He comes back as tight end 1. Schultz still gets reps, but Jarwin is your leading receiver at tight end. From Cody, would you take a receiver, including Pitts, if we could move Gallup for a defensive piece? If so, who would you prefer? My path to doing that is if Surtain and Sewell are all off the board and J.C. Horn is maybe even off the board as well. Pitts is a different conversation for me. Purely as a receiver, just roll with Gallup for 1 more year. That is a future issue, does not have to be solved right now. So because of it, you could try it. I'd say just take the defensive piece, though, instead. From Hunter, what about Ian Book as a backup quarterback on day 3? Sure. I have Ian Book graded as a 7th-round guy. Fun fact, there's the top 7 quarterbacks, top 8, and then Jamie Newman in round 6, Ian Book for me in round 7. It's a bad backup quarterback class. There's no depth this year. But sure, Ian Book is one of those guys you could take in round 6, round 7. Now, how many rounds of the NFL draft do you guys watch? I've always been the weird kid, let's be honest here, who watched all 7 rounds. And I always hated the day 3 coverage on the major networks. Because when they get to day 3, they don't talk about the prospects. Instead, they interview coaches and talk about the round 1 guys. I don't care about those guys. I wanted to see who this random 4th-round pick from Texas A&M was. I wanted to know about that. That's why we here at Chat Sports, when we do all 7 rounds of the NFL draft, we mean all 7 rounds. We don't cut away for an hour straight and talk about 1 draft pick in that time frame. No. We hit every single player with the in-depth accuracy and knowledge that you guys actually want, not boring coaching interviews. So join us for every single draft pick and some fun games along the way at our Chat Sports YouTube channel. Link there, bottom of the screen, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Timothy Mullen, can we get Laramie Tunsil to lend Sewell his bong mask? What a reference. with the way the NFL rules are now about marijuana, I don't know if it would actually impact Sewell quite the same way. It might not work as well. So we got to find something different that's also still not bad, and that's kind of tough to do. From Abdul, do we need to draft a quarterback while we have Gilbert? Do we need to? No. Are you able to with just Gilbert and DiNucci? Sure, but you don't have to draft somebody. From the Wizard, what a photo right there, man. Kyle Trask, round 4. That is where I have him graded. I think Trask is a pure backup quarterback in the NFL, so if you really want a good backup, I think Trask can be that. For the Cowboys specifically, I might be looking for more defensive help, though, at that point. From Brian Cobler, what games will be played during the draft? So if you've watched some of our live shows here, we've busted out the roulette wheel, which is, we spin it, and sometimes something embarrassing for me or one of the other hosts, people behind the scenes, drinking games as well. Apparently, we're doing a new game, which I don't know the details yet at this point. But it is Make Tom Pee, because last year I broke my undefeated streak of actually having to pee during the NFL draft solely because we did a lot of drinking games and I had too much beer and then had to go pee there. The new game is Make Me Pee. I'm not sure what the details are. I don't like this game, but that's what we're going to be doing this year. From Timothy Mullen, I prefer Nick Bolton over Micah Parsons. Am I crazy? I mean, I have Parsons over Bolton. I have Bolton as my linebacker 4, even with his not great pro day testing. So, I mean, I don't necessarily agree, but it's not crazy. Like, especially if you want a run stopper. Nick Bolton is, I think, one of the better run-stopping linebackers in this year's class, and I don't think a liability in coverage either. Parsons has more upside, and if you're concerned about Parsons' character off the field stuff, then yeah, it's definitely not crazy. Joey Hoey, does Barmore fall past 25 into the second round? Would you trade up to get him? In a normal defensive line class, I think there would be a chance he gets to like the second round, maybe. I have a round 1/round 2 grade on him. Yes, I would explore moving up to get him if he starts to slide, but in a bad defensive line class, if a team needs one, he's the best guy this year. From Shanav, Cowboys Kwity Paye. I hate it. I don't want him at 10. If he falls to round 2, okay. Depending on how far you trade down, we can have that conversation. Taking Kwity Paye at number 10? Nah, you're going to have a better football player on the board who also fills a big area of need. I promise you on that one.